In this video, we are going to explore select missing words, highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation task in PTE academic listening. Okay, so many of you may think when it comes to select missing word, this is just guessing the last word. I only need vocabulary. I can predict randomly. Absolutely not, because this task actually testing your logical listening, tone prediction, sentence completion, and your ability to understand how spoken English naturally concludes. So today I will explain what the task is, how the structure works, and what PTE academic is actually testing, and unique strategies that I'm going to give you. Okay. So in this task, you will listen to an audio recording. But here's the catch, the recording suddenly stops before the final word or phrase. And your job is to choose which options best completes that recording. So you usually get one audio, several answer choices, and only one correct answer. Now, here is where many of you misunderstand. So, your PTE academic is not checking whether you can hear one word. It is checking can you understand the direction of meaning and predict the logical ending. That's the real skill. Okay. So this task mainly tests listening for context. That means you must understand the topic, the speaker intention, emotional tone, and of course, logical flow. And then predictive listening skills. So native speakers usually predict endings while listening, right? For example, if someone says, due to severe weather conditions, all flights have been, then if it ends with an empty place, then your brain automatically predicts cancelled. So that prediction skill matters enormously here because that's a collocation that you usually use, right? And the next one is understanding natural English conclusions. So, English speech has rhythm and expectation. Certain phrases naturally lead towards specific endings, right? For example, one of the biggest challenges researchers continue to face is, and it stops. So, your brain expects a problem, limitation, or difficulty, not something random like a celebration, right? Okay, so let me give you important thing that biggest mistake students usually make. So you have to listen to this carefully because this is critical. Many of you focus only on the last few seconds. That's a huge mistake because the correct answer is usually connected to the overall discussion, the speaker's opinion, and the direction of the conversation. So if you panic and only wait for the final sentence, then probably you choose to trap answers, right? And let me give you the unique strategy for select missing word. Step 1, understand the topic immediately. In the first 10 seconds, you have to identify what is the speaker talking about, science, business, or education, environment. What is the theme? That context you should able to identify in the first 10 seconds because that gives your brain direction. And the second step is you have to listen for the tone shifts. So this usually I say, right, whenever it comes for the listening, like, however, therefore, unfortunately, as a result, despite these. So these words signal where the idea is going, and the ending almost always follows that direction. And step 3, you have to predict the ending before reading options. Yeah, this is very important. What kind of ending logically fits here? You should try to ask yourself. Then you can compare your prediction with the options. That prevents the confusion. Okay, let me play the audio for you. This is an example. Just listen carefully.
Over the last decade, many companies have shifted toward hybrid work models in order to improve employee satisfaction and reduce operational costs. While some managers initially believed remote work would lower productivity, several recent studies have actually shown the opposite. Employees often report feeling more focused and less stressed when they have greater flexibility over their schedules. However, researchers also warn that excessive remote work may gradually reduce opportunities for spontaneous collaboration and team creativity. As businesses continue adapting to changing workplace expectations, experts suggest that the most successful companies will probably be those that manage to maintain both flexibility and strong interpersonal.
The options given here are transportation, competition, communication, and advertisement. So when it comes to strong interpersonal, The answer should be communication. That's the natural collocation, right? You have to look carefully at the logic. The speaker discusses the flexibility, collaboration, team creativity, workplace relationships, right? So the final idea naturally connects to maintaining strong interpersonal communication. The other options do not match the topic flow. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Highlight incorrect words. So this task pushes students very quickly if concentration drops even for 2 seconds. So this one we call it as highlight incorrect words because many of you believe this is only spelling. I just need fast reading. I can multitask easily. No, but this task is actually testing your listening precision, concentration stability, reading synchronization, and attention to detail under pressure. So these things actually does testing. And when it comes to highlight incorrect words, so in this task, you listen to an audio recording while simultaneously reading a transcript on the screen. But the trick here is some words in the transcript are wrong. So your job is to click the words that do not match the audio. This may sound easy for you, but not really because the audio continues automatically. And if your concentration breaks even for 3 to 4 seconds, you can lose multiple answers instantly, right? And this task tests your simultaneous listening and reading. Your brain must process the audio and the text at the same time. So that's cognitively demanding. And attention to detail. Sometimes only one word changes. For example, the audio says economic growth and the transcript can show economic decline. So if you miss that tiny difference, then you lose marks. Then concentration endurance. This task rewards the stable attention, calm tracking, and continuous focus, not speed. Okay. So these are some of the mistakes that you may make in highlight incorrect words. Many of the times you get panic and click too fast. Then what will happen? You lose the line, you miss the next mismatch, and mentally collapse halfway through. So never chase the audio aggressively. You have to stay calm and track steadily. And let me provide some of the important strategy for this task. First one is follow the audio rhythm. So do not read ahead too much, okay? And the second one is watch for meaning shift. That means incorrect words usually create a strange meaning, awkward logic, or unnatural context. So your brain often notices meaning errors before exact word differences, okay? And the third one is don't panic after one mistake. You have to recover immediately after missing a word. Got it? Now let me go through the next audio. So while you are listening to the audio, just look at the context given on the screen. The same transcript has been given, and your job is to identify the incorrect words. Let me play it for you.
Climate scientists continue to warn that rising global temperatures are accelerating environmental changes across multiple regions of the world. In particular, coastal communities are becoming increasingly vulnerable to flooding due to rising sea levels and more intense weather patterns. Researchers also emphasize that immediate investment in renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure will play a critical role in reducing long-term environmental damage.
So this is very easy in order to identify the incorrect words, right? So you can actually apply the strategies that we have discussed so far for this highlight incorrect words, and you can easily find out the incorrect words. Now let's move on to the next one, right from dictation. So this is also an important listening task in the entire PTE academic section. And this single task can dramatically change your listening score. Okay. So in this task, you hear only one sentence and only once you can hear, and you must type exactly what you hear. So that includes spelling, grammar, word order, articles, plural forms, and punctuation. So every word matters here. And this one tests your listening accuracy. Can you hear words precisely under pressure or not? And of course, it tests your short term memory and grammar and spelling control too. So important strategies for this right from dictation is focus on the stressed words because English naturally emphasize the nouns, verbs, key information words, right? So these help reconstruct the sentence later. And step two, you have to type immediately. Don't wait for too long. Can start typing you can start typing as soon as the audio finishes. On step three, you have to check grammar patterns quickly. Before submitting, you can quickly check the subject verb agreement, articles, plural endings, and punctuations because here even the tiny mistakes matter. Let me play an example for you.
Many universities are investing heavily in digital learning platforms to improve student accessibility and academic flexibility.
Okay, so when you hear this audio, you should try to chunk it. Okay, many universities are investing heavily in digital learning platforms to improve student accessibility and academic flexibility. Got it? Don't go word by word. And the final truth that most students never hear is PTE academic listening is not testing whether you understand every single word perfectly. It is testing your concentration control, prediction ability, listening rhythm, and stability under pressure. So, students who stay calm usually outperform students who panic and overthink. While practicing, train your ears daily, listen actively, shadow English audio, and practice under timed condition. That's all for today's video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more PTE academic tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.